Jason and Nichole Mulford, thank you for joining us today for this month's Bet on a Vet. And first of all, Jason, tell me about your time in the service.
Marine Corps veteran. I did 5 years on active duty. I was an 08-11, so I was an artillery cannoneer, and then I did multiple billets within that field. I served primarily out of Camp Pendleton, California, with Fox Battery, 2nd Battalion, 11th Marines. I did 2 deployments, one to the Middle East, where we participated in Operation Desert Fox. I broke my back during that operation. Subsequently, I had to go through a couple surgeries and then was medically retired and honorably discharged in 2003. I enlisted in 1995. During that time, I was a section chief, training officer. Really loved it. I really did. If it wasn't for breaking my back, I would have stayed in. In between getting out and going through all the surgeries, they had to do 3 major operations on my spine and internal organs. Mm-hmm. I couldn't walk for a while. And then finally they went in and reconstructed my spine with metal. And I was able to go through physical rehabilitation at the Veterans Hospital down in San Diego for about 2 years. I was on so many painkillers, so many different medications. This was back before they stopped giving veterans opiates to deal with pain. I ended up doing 6 months in a pain clinic at the VA hospital in La Jolla, where they went through physical rehabilitation, psychological stuff, got me off all the medications. And then I returned home in 2004, back to Amador County. After I'd gone through all the surgical procedures, I ended up having to go through almost 43 surgical procedures to get me all put back together.
Jeez, priest. Wow. So when you got, how difficult was it for you to transition back into civilian life, especially after all of that?
It was hard. Those couple of years when I was on what's called the temporary disability retirement list, when I was going through all those surgeries and all those doctor's appointments, I was constantly at the VA. I ended up just getting a work study job there and just stayed there every day for like 8 hours a day. I'd do some little bit of work and then go do my physical therapy, go do my classes, groups, whatever it was. And if it wasn't for that, it'd been really hard. They would have just sent me home without all that stuff. I don't know what would have happened.
And Nichole, how was it for you?
So I wasn't around during that time, but when he did come back and I helped him navigate VA, it was still difficult to navigate VA. Even as by that time he was a 100% service-connected disabled veteran, even with the priority that he's supposed to have, it's still difficult. And so that's kind of where Victory Village came from, was that Jason had this experience in having to deal with the VA, having to navigate that VA system, working inside the system, learning how intricate it is, what a bureaucracy it is. And so just in all of that difficulty, he did lots of research and found that, if we started this organization, we could really help a lot of people. And, we were, when I met him, he was going through, it was during the housing crisis. It was in 2010 and he had an ARM loan. And so his rate had adjusted and he wasn't able to, negotiate with the bank because
that was a real fun time, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awful. And so it was horrible. And so we did end up losing our house, but we found that in our area, which I did send a map of our service area, there weren't a lot of resources for veterans. And we thought it was just where we were from in Amador County, but we realized it's the whole foothill area of Northern California. And so we started Victory Village and it's just grown a lot. And we thought we were just going to help veterans navigate VA, and it's just grown from there. And we provide a lot of services now.
Yeah, one of the things that you provide is vocational rehabilitation. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we got last year we got Victory Village its general contractor's license. So we have a employment training program. We take veterans and civilians. We put them into the trades work. We give them skills, job, substance allowance. We have housing for them too, and we get them back to work. And once they're done with our program, they can go work for somebody else, or we can help them get their own contractor's license after they've completed their hours. It's been a lot of fun. We've been doing lots of projects, including building our own 5-unit transitional housing facility with a shop underneath where we do our vocational rehab. We built it ourselves. It was through a VA grant, and we just been plugging away, working with these guys, learning. We hoped in the future to get the state of California to approve it as an apprenticeship program, so that veterans can come to us and use their VA benefits. They can then go to college and get their on-the-job training hours.
In your experience, how many veterans return without a plan, muster out, and even though going into the service is kind of sold as learn a skill that you can use for the rest of your life? It sounds like that isn't always the case. And A, how often does that happen? And B, how often does it seem like a surprise or a shock to the young man or the young woman?
It's really frequently, actually. I know the military does what's called TAP, Transition Assistance Program. They give you a couple classes the last week of your enlistment and hand you your papers and then just send you back to your hometown or wherever you want to go. And then you're out. That's it. No more. So if there's no services that connect you to, you can get lost in the cracks. A lot of guys end up, becoming addicted to painkillers, drugs, alcohol, co-occurring disorders. Don't go seek help they need because they're embarrassed or don't want to. There's some stigma behind us asking for help. I would say in our area, about half of the guys that come back aren't prepared.
I said earlier, young men and women, but I'm sure you're helping veterans of all ages, wars, situations.
Yeah, we have 22-year-old veterans. They're returning right now. They're coming to us who have no plan, that are homeless. They were couch surfing. Parents got tired of them, kicked them out, told them to get a job. They were infantry in Afghanistan. They have no other job skills at all except for being infantry. They find it very difficult to get skills to obtain jobs. We helped a couple guys who were in really bad situations, living in their cars. They're suicidal, attempted suicide multiple times. They took the drugs. We helped them go to rehab, bring them back, put them in our transitional housing program. And for 2 years, we'll work with them as long as we can. And then we have a Korean War veteran right now living in one of our transitional housing units. And he's going to be transitioning to Calvet homes. Wow. He's 89 years old. He's still going. But he lived in a shed behind someone's house for the last 20 years with no one else.
Unbelievable. Nichole, you guys started Victory Village it was one location, right? In Amador County. And
yeah,
you have 4? You have 4?
We started in her parents' basement after we lost our house. That's where we started the company.
Wow.
Within 6 months, we got a location in Jackson, a commercial location. And then today we have 5 locations, 4 active. One's an empty lot we hope to develop and build houses for veterans.
Okay. How do veterans find out about you?
So they can go to our website, vvvets.org. And that's Victor, Echo, Tango, Sierra.org. And all of our programs are on there, except maybe the Voc Rehab program. But they can always call our office in Jackson, 209-223-2286. Our office in Auburn is 530-900-1717. And they can find out about our programs in Auburn. We serve Placer and Nevada County. Out of our Jackson office, we serve Amador, Calaveras, Tuolumne, Mariposa, and Alpine counties. But we'll really serve any veterans. We've had veterans call from other states just with help navigating VA, knowing what to say to VA. Veterans who have served with Jason, who just had questions, just wanted to ask how to navigate VA. And we actually have veterans who work for us who have experience with the system, And so that's always nice to know for veterans, that they can call and talk to another veteran.
What about volunteers? Do you need people with different skill sets, different abilities to help you guys out?
Absolutely. We always need help with fundraising events. We have one coming up in Auburn in May, and that will be at the Oddfellows Hall in Auburn. We need help beforehand, collecting donations, getting sponsorships. That's always helpful. Our staff they work under a grant. They really don't have time to volunteer for the fundraising. And so we definitely need help with the fundraising portion. We have a dinner next September 2025 in Jackson, the Sunset Dinner for the Amador County location that we need help with.
Right. And I'm wondering, question to either one of you, is there one person who's been through your program, your services, that stands out as someone who's a good example of, the best possible outcome?
Yeah, we have an Iraq veteran. He served, got out, he had a plan, worked for a helicopter company in Sacramento, he ran into some issues at home, transitioning back, being full-time with his family again, started doing alcohol, ended up getting involved with law enforcement repeatedly, to the point where he was incarcerated. He had to go through the Veterans Treatment Court, which Nichole and I helped set up in Amador County, and we run it now for Amador County Superior Court. We have a contract so the veterans can come to us whenever the judge has enough veterans. We have courses for them and programs. So this individual came to us, and for 2 years he lived at our facility. CPS had taken his kids. It was bad. He called us from a hotel room saying that it was over.
And he actually was able to overcome all of that. And we helped him navigate the CPS case. He got his kids back. He overcame VTC, and he graduated.
Whoop, all right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So he
anyway, take a moment.
He had his own house. He got his job back. He got promoted at work, and he's doing great. And he comes and talks to all the new veterans in the VTC program.
Nichole, you were getting emotional. That's why you paused.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking, well, that's a weird place to end the story, but
Yeah, no, we can cut that out a little bit.
No, I got you. No, that's great.
He's one. That's why he's such a wonderful story, is that he really worked hard, because out of all the veterans, any veteran that comes to our program, they have to do the work. We can't do it for them.
Right.
We can guide them, and we can show them the right way, and we can give them the tools and say, here, this is how you do it. But we can't do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they do that and they succeed, it's amazing. And when they can overcome so many barriers, that's the best thing that we can ask for. It's wonderful.
Well, what you're doing is wonderful, and I appreciate you taking time today. And I would urge anybody, if you're a veteran and you don't know where to turn, now you do. And same thing if you're a family member of a veteran. And if KNCI can help you guys out with any of the events that you have coming up, please contact us, and we will put the word out and do what we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
So we're
go ahead.
We've helped almost 1,000 homeless veterans go through our program, get off the street, and we have an 88% success rate on them maintaining their housing after they leave our program. It's one of the highest in the nation.
God bless you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.